Hello, I'm Jen Stockman, and I just want to welcome you to the last session of the War on Your Voice mini course. And I'm just so grateful that you've taken the time to listen to these sessions. Thank you so much. And, dreams do come true. The dreams you have for your voice, the dreams you have for your life, for your story, they do come true. And the difference between hope and fantasy is your capacity to live in the reality of your story. And fantasy is constantly trying to look to the future to avoid our story. It's looking to the future to avoid ourselves, to avoid our reality. And hope has feet on the ground. Hope feels our deficits. Hope feels the pain in our story. And it looks to the promises of God in the future with the reality of that story in our heart. Not to escape it, but to become everything Jesus has is in his heart when he paid that extraordinary price for us. So fantasy is a dream that never paid a price. And hope is a dream that pays the price, that does the inner work, that co-labors with Christ through blood, sweat, and tears to face our inner limitations, to face the reality of our past, to face recognizing, I think I am in a war and I didn't know it. I think I am being pushed and bullied into living small and I didn't even realize it. And the lies I've been believing as normal, that I'm insignificant, that it doesn't matter, whatever they are unique to your story, hope pays a price to face those stories and bring them into the presence of Jesus to be redeemed and washed and renewed, and to have the stories, the real stories that led us to those beliefs, healed and grieved. Hope works. Fantasy avoids. Fantasy diminishes. Fantasy lives in denial. And fantasy will never reach fulfillment because it's constantly looking to grab that dangling carrot. And it's just constantly out of reach. And today, your past lives inside of you. The stories that have already happened live inside of you. And true freedom is not forgetting all those stories. True freedom is every story within me has been touched by Jesus. Every story within me has the felt experience of he left the 99 and he came and he found me in my despair. He found me in my anxiety. He found me in my depression. He found me in my brokenness and my shame, and he put me on his shoulders. And the sound of his rejoicing was right next to my ear. And it's in his sound that I recognize he rejoices over me just like this. Before a thing has been changed, he's rejoicing that I'm here, that I'm with him. And it's in that experience that our story begins to heal. And we begin to see the future differently when we begin to see our past through his lens, through his eyes. And right now, in this moment, your past is inside of you and your future is inside of you. who you will become in this next decade, in this next year, is within you. And your choices have a radical impact on who you become in your future. And the people of God stepped foot in their promised land and they missed it. The Bible says they grumbled and they complained and they found fault within them with everything. They did not delight in the land the Lord had given them because they were so afraid of the giants. And it's not that there wasn't good reason to be afraid. These weren't metaphorical or fantasy giants. They were real. These were real, incredibly supernaturally large people. And it's in that reality that hope has the opportunity to arise. Because in reality, hope has access to a God that's bigger than the giants. And so I just want to encourage you to see the borders of your promised land and step into it, aware that there's a God on your side, aware that the God who's saying, "This is my land, possess it," is the God who is with me, who is leading me into it. And to protect your delight. And it's impossible to protect your delight without boundaries. And doing the work to recognize, where did I let go of owning my yes and owning my no in the boundaries and the borders of the land that's been given to me? And taking back what belongs to you, what Jesus rightly won for you, and being the owner of a whole life, being the owner of dreams, the owner of your desires. The first question Jesus asked to people that were following him, he turned around and he said, "What do you want?" And today I just want to challenge you. Hear Jesus asking you, inside the borders of this land, what do you want? And who do you need to become? Where do you need yeses and nos? That in 5 years, you're super proud of who you've become. That in 1 year, you're super proud of the work it took to see the giants and possess the land by confronting every inner limitation that makes you feel like a grasshopper that's not worthy, that's not able, that's not capable. And to no longer define yourself by what you're able and capable of, but by defining yourself by the size of your God, not the size of yourself or the size of the giants. It would have been equally as detrimental if the people of God would have defined themselves by themselves and felt able. Our confidence in possessing the land is in who our God is for us. And so I just want to encourage you, go back to the beginning of your life. When you were in your most pure, innocent, childlike state, what was your dream? Who did you want to be on the earth? Before you tasted disappointment, before you tasted fear or rejection or abandonment, what was the dream in your heart? And then go all the way to the end. What is the mark you want to leave on the earth with the sound of your voice? What is the legacy you want to leave to your children's children. See yourself the way Jesus sees you in this hour of history. That in this moment, you are in him and he is in you. And within him, you are co-creating your future through your choices, through your focus, through your attention. Make it count. Hold nothing back. Take risks. Choose to get up again and go at it again. As a much loved child, your voice matters. Your presence on this earth matters. And I believe in your voice.